Good morning, beautiful souls. I put out a video yesterday saying the time had come, the time was now, the time was now, the time has come for an uprising. And I just want to make absolutely clear, I think I made it clear, but just in case there are any misunderstandings, I'm not talking about violence. Please, I'm not talking about violence. We don't need violence. I'm talking about something completely different. Something that's, well, I say it's never been tried before. I mean, the nearest that we've come to it in the past, I suppose, was the non-violent way that Gandhi freed India. Um, but I want to go a lot further than that. I've spoken about all this before a lot more detail in my book, Love Not Fear, A New Paradigm for the 21st Century. Uh, Available on Amazon as a Kindle or a paperback. Quick plug. But please do read it if you haven't already. I'm not just saying that because I make a couple of quid out of it. I really want to get these ideas out. There's a free download if you want to. There's a free download on my website, lovenotfear.uk. There's a free download. I'm not doing this for money. I write in my book, and I've said before on these videos, we were born into a game we did not devise, where the rules are stacked against us, in favour of the globalist elite. There's no way we can ever win that game. The only way we can get out of this mess and win is if we stop playing their game and devise a fairer one. And as I said before, I've already devised the fairer one and it's in the book. Their system is based on money and debt. Money is not the same as wealth. Wealth is the things we have that make our lives interesting. Money is just an artificial way that we exchange those things. And it's a very destructive way of exchanging those things because it makes us mean, it quantifies everything. It puts a price on everything. So we can be sure that we don't give any more than we get because we're mean fuckers. Excuse my language. But we are. Money has made us mean people. But we're not mean people, really. We free ourselves from money. We free ourselves from the fear and the insecurity which leads to the meanness. If we know we'll always have enough, we haven't got to worry, we'll always have enough. Because our friends and our neighbours will always have our back. We don't have to apply for these means-tested benefits from the government anymore because our friends will help us out if we fall on hard times. If we lived in a world where we helped the Joneses to keep up with us instead of us trying to keep up with them all the time. It's just a shift in attitude. So when I say the time for the uprising is now, this is the uprising I'm talking about. Ditch the old paradigm. Yes, stop obeying their stupid rules, obviously. But then we've got to go one step further than that. We've got to build this free gift economy. And we can start small, just a few friends or neighbours in the same street or the same village or whatever, the same district, and let it grow. And we all do what we do. We all do something. Most of us do something. Actually, it's my experience from a difficult period I had as a young man that I was very good at doing something, very good indeed. But I couldn't do it to serve the community because I didn't have enough money to buy the equipment and the premises. So money doesn't enable service, it restricts it. That was my personal experience. So when I say the time is now for a revolution, this is what I'm talking about: a peaceful political and economic revolution. Political, because I believe in democracy. I believe in direct democracy rather than representative democracy, which means governing groups, I won't call them governments, but governing groups have to be small and local. People in the street who, with a show of hands, vote on what they're going to do in the street. Whether they want more street lights, who's going to fill in the potholes, it's... So I want proper democracy. I've even written in my book about a way that we can have a proper democracy, a proper direct democracy, on a national scale. It won't work on a world scale, so don't even think about having a world government. That would be much too big to control. But we could do it on a national level with our parliaments. Just read the chapter in my book, or indeed there's excerpts from it on my website, under the title of "We Have the Technology, We Can Rebuild Our Democracy." And the other part is we have to rebuild our economy. Our economy has to be based on freely giving and freely receiving. And if we do that, then the political and economic structures that exist today will collapse because they're based on money. And this artificial money that they call debt, which is where we give them real wealth in exchange for their Mickey Mouse blips on a computer screen. But the trouble is, we were born into this game. It's the only game we've ever known. People think it's normal. People are scared to try something new. What happened last time we tried something new? Well, the last big thing new that was tried was communism, and look how that turned out. We just ended up exchanging one oppressor for another, one tyrant for another. And the communist countries are worse off than anywhere else. That's not what we want. Well, as I said in a previous video, what's the difference between what I'm suggesting and communism? Well, in 3 words I can sum it up: no government involvement. This is just a peer-to-peer. It's just being generous to it. If we just be excellent to each other, be generous to each other. I'm not talking about barter. If you use a barter system, the government will find a way of taxing it. If you give a present to somebody, a gift to somebody, there's no way the government can tax that. And when it taxes, the government will fall. No, I'm not talking about any particular political party. They're all as bad as each other. I'm talking about the whole system. So the rallies over the weekend all over the world proved that this is the time to strike. This is the time to do it. Right now. And we do it by doing two things. We stop obeying their laws, the bad ones. Obviously we keep doing the normal good things. And we stop using money. We start being generous to each other. Well, that's it for today. Speak to you again soon. Namaste.